All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for RWBY Volume 6.
Chapter
3.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
My God.
Because these are chapters, not episodes.
Yeah. And the last episode, we were introduced to Jin.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea of Jins in
Voice
RWBY.
actress being Colleen Clinkenbeard. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
right. Oh, yeah, right. And
Salem's
as a character,
backstory.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, that will be
Salem's
pretty crazy.
Freaking backstory.
Yeah, with Ozpin and stuff and wow.
And
oh boy.
And basically, guys, we're at the point where the writers are basically saying, "Hey, you want answers? You want big secrets to be revealed?
Yeah.
Well, we're about to just blow your minds with all that stuff. So yeah, how crazy do you think this is going to be? Because this is a 26-minute episode.
This could get pretty crazy. But what's crazy though is that I always, for some reason, thought that we were going to get Team Stark flashbacks before we got
any of this stuff.
Like any Ozpin
They could talk or tease that kind of thing.
They could, yeah.
It's just the question on, since they're going at seemingly Salem's origins, because this is pre-Salem in her grimified look.
Yep.
It's probably really far back in terms of just time, and Team Stark was just a few
not even a
years
twinkle in their parents' eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, this is pretty crazy, and I'm looking forward to potentially some of our theories getting debunked, like hardcore. I think that in a lot of ways, if they're going this far back, there's no real way that we can properly predict what they're going to decide, a lot of this story-related stuff to be origin-wise. But then the question is, once they start that far back, how far forward are they going to move? Right. And is it all going to be within this episode alone? I would think it would make sense pacing-wise to keep it all within one episode.
Yeah,
and if they're spending
time montage,
right, and especially if they're spending 26 minutes, this is the equivalent of Legend of Korra's beginnings, basically. Kind of.
Now that
like you kind of feel like it could be something like that. So yeah, guys, we're hyped. We're ready to have our minds blown, and let's get into this. All right, guys, if you're here, that means you're here for the early access timer reaction. So get your Rooster Teeth first footage synced up and ready to go with my countdown right here. So yeah, we're going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now.
Getting that opening out of the way at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because we got some stuff to do in this episode that they don't want to be interrupted.
I would almost give them, kind of the benefit of the doubt if they're like, we have a lot of stuff to get into. Let's just cut the opening. But because they don't have any time constraints like usual anime, they can have 26-minute episodes.
They can just add it out.
Guys, this is a 26-minute episode. We originally in Volume 1 had 3.5-minute episodes. Yeah. You all know those episodes.
Yeah.
Now we are here.
Like this episode,
minutes.
This episode by itself is like a third of the length of season 1.
Yes.
Think about that.
Right.
Think about that.
RWBY has come a long way.
Episodes in season 1.
Oh my gosh. It's just easy to take this for granted when you realize and that's we know that's Salem.
Yeah.
So we have all the past lives here. So
yeah.
I'm guessing it's going to be some kind of a mentor, potential lovers relationship kind of thing.
There are so many things they could do.
Because I feel like,
oh man, this is so good.
I feel like Ozpin's gonna be the one that all the legends are about, and she's gonna get caught up in his, his legend and stuff. But
sure,
yeah, who knows? Let's get into this. Oh. Power. Oh. Okay. Oh. Whoa. Oh. Just. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Ah. That's one of the past lives. Ozma.
Okay.
Well, cool. Ah. This is the contrast to where Ozpin is now. He started out as a hero of justice, you know.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's actually more like a wizard.
Or a battle mage.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Oh my. Oh my. Wow. Wow. That's Dismuke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
Yeah. I was waiting for that. Oh. Jeez.
Wait.
Wow. Whoa.
And they did?
The domain of light?
Okay, we got some plane walking going on here or something?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is like Baron and Luthien stuff.
Yeah. Oh crap.
Is this what the Grimworld is now?
Yeah, she's coming to make a deal.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right.
Who are they going to get to voice act like a god, you know? Cannot or will not? Oh, see. Whoa. She just got warped.
Yeah.
Out of. Oh, dang. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay. All right. Well.
Okay.
Oh. I guess we could see where the Knucklevi inspiration came from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, what? Well, crap. Here's how Ozpin got his curse. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Well, we have something. We have something now for Beyond Salem. Like.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what the?
Holy crap.
Oh.
Holy
This is about
crap.
pride.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh. She's just getting jerked back and forth, back and forth. There's like, snap, 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 snap. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Jeez.
Wow.
That is a curse. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And she's alone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Holy crap!
Whoa.
Oh. Okay. Dang.
Holy crap. This is like some Sauron the Deceiver stuff.
Yeah,
right here.
yeah, it is. Divide.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy crap. That's really cool that they have the God of Darkness being there too.
Yeah. And she's proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Pew 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 pew.
No magic, no more.
Oh! Oh my god! What? Oh my god, I think he just killed everyone.
Oh, this world ends up becoming the Grim world.
Whoa.
They just make a new world.
Yeah. Whoa.
Holy crap.
The gods left.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Holy crap.
Oh, no way. No way.
And that means that they didn't go to another dimension. They just went to space somewhere.
Yeah. They're basically just, like, extra... They're just aliens, basically.
That means that the fight can go to the gods eventually.
I know. Oh. No.
Dang.
It made things way worse. Okay, alright. Yeah, we don't know his whole deal.
Yeah, how...
Yeah, what happens... What happens to Ozpin? Or
Ozma.
Ozma.
Did they restart the human race?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the cycle continues. A remnant.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Scepter, sword,
Crown.
and the lamp.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoa. Holy crap. But she's there. Wow.
She's the...
Dang. It gave him a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Holy crap.
But they still abandoned it.
Yeah.
It's not worth their time anymore, basically. Mm-hmm. They're not heroes really any more than Salem is pure evil. Like,
wow.
Like,
oh, okay, so they didn't restart the human race. Humans
grew from the muck and goo and, you know, came back from...
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
oh, mankind born from dust.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, dang. Whoa. The first reincarnation. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, because it could be 1,000 years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow.
Oh. A semblance of magic. A semblance of... Oh,
the
witch. Oh, that's why her name...
You're probably right.
She
recognizes him immediately.
Whoa. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Holy crap.
Jeez. There's so much.
Now it's Ozpin's VA.
Dang. Oh
wow.
no.
Holy crap.
Oh, that was the huge mistake.
Uh-huh.
Oh! 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 We will rule among them as gods, angry gods.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
dang.
Holy crap.
4 girls. 4 girls.
Oh.
That can't be a coincidence.
Man.
Whoa, that was good.
That was
really so good. Aww. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, why gather
Our
the
offspring,
relics?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
So he tries to take them away.
Oh my god, he is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh. I like the Harry Potter reference. Holy hell.
Do the kids make it out of this
are
alive?
The kids okay? Oh.
Oh no. They're dead. They're dead. And he's dead too. Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Dang, yeah. That's all he has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he has tons of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Was that his inner self looking at him?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. Oh. It's his connective token that he keeps passing on in some way to the next. Oh. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Yo, that was insane.
Holy.
They just changed everything.
And there's Salem right at the top.
They changed everything.
Wow.
This
okay.
Okay.
I
saw Chase something.
But that was so awesome having Colleen narrate the entire episode.
The entire thing.
That was a dream come true. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
RWBY.
But
Just
whoa. Like, now they can actually go full Gurren Lagann because they actually have
they have fantasy,
they have the
anti-spirals,
they have the reason to go to space and
wow.
Holy crap. Okay. Okay. Wow.
26 minutes. 26 minutes of just pure contextual exposition. Now, here's the thing.
Man.
Here's the thing. I have to give props for the writers, Miles and Carrie, and everyone else involved with the story direction for giving us a clear end point. Because you know what they did right here that's really important? They gave us the past. They gave us the past context. But they actually told us how the story's going to end.
Right.
Like, they told us how this whole thing has to end. They don't tell us as to what choices people will make at the end.
Right.
But they gave us a an end point. Which is crazy, because you know what that means? They're basically saying, hey, we could end this in, like, 3 to 5 volumes.
Well, and
like, they could.
What's crazy is... okay, all right, first, before anything else, now, having seen this episode...
Yes.
Imagine episode 1.
Imagine episode 1.
Imagine episode 1.
Salem and Ozpin talking to each other.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah. But also just where it was at. Like, the scope of the story at that level.
Right.
This is something where, like, okay, the idea of, like, you know, the whole thing of, like, 20 volumes of RWBY or 10 volumes of RWBY or 15 volumes of RWBY or whatever. When I heard that, I had some problems with that. Is that, how do you make it last that long without the conflict growing stale? Because you want to have victory and defeat and all those things and feel like there's progression.
Right.
Not necessarily linearly, but you need to have progression and you know, make the whole journey be enjoyable, right?
Yes.
But now I see not just how they can have the whole thing with Salem go.
Right.
I see all the way to how they can do the we don't care about interdimensional whatever's row fight the power, like literally battling the gods
if
for
they
the
wanted
fate
to.
of humanity if they wanted to. Because what I see basically happening is there will come a point where the God Rocks will be reunited. Right? And when that happens, then the gods will return. They will not judge humanity positively.
Right.
However, humanity won't necessarily like that they're being judged not positively.
Right.
So they will do what humanity does best. Fight back.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah.
I know.
And the thing is, at that point, I could even see Salem being on their side, like, potentially,
I can see
maybe,
that,
if the circumstances are right, because...
Now, on the one hand, though, Salem doesn't care.
No.
Salem doesn't care.
Well, and I think what she was suggesting there is, let's kill off the entire rest of humanity and let our line be all that's left. We can propagate, like, the human race again.
I think that is what she was insinuating, like, yes. Now, the main issue also with having humanity be wiped out is Ozpin will be gone at that point. Now, here's kind of the issue, I think, with Salem's plan, is that she's not really redeemable here. Because her main thing I think she had going for her as a character in this context was that she saw, in my opinion, a really compelling future where she basically takes her and Ozpin, and they go and they basically become the new humanity, which is, it is not a good idea, but it's like, whoa, that makes her character way more interesting,
right?
Because it's not about her just being in love, and it's like, oh, my motivations are severely...
and you broke up with me or whatever, you know.
Blah, blah, blah. No, it's way more than that.
No.
She's actually thinking, like, I've spent, like, a ton of energy looking into the potential of humanity, and I've seen that the potential caps off at a certain point. We can't fight the gods. Like, yes, I totally would love to kill them.
Right.
Would totally love to kill them.
Yeah.
But I think in some ways what's kind of interesting here is that what she might be more interested in is just the idea of, let's bring this judgment day upon us. I'm sick of humanity.
Sure, destroying the world, and then I'll finally be able to die. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that as well. Maybe another thing is just that the only ones that can kill me are the gods.
Sure.
So either way, I need to summon them back anyway. So let's hasten this judgment day, and maybe I can get included in that judgment. Or maybe I can find some way to continually spite them and just be like, hey, you know those things you made? Yeah, you got to come back here. Yeah, I know it's a lot of annoying energy for you to go and travel across space and time and all that.
Yeah.
But go and wipe him out again. Look what I prepared for you. I prepared a nice little feast. And I love the idea of, you said Sauron the Deceiver. It totally has an aspect of a lesser kind of Sauron type character.
Like, because they literally had the Númenóreans challenging the gods and stuff and getting wiped out and then getting separated from the gods forever. like
this is some high fantasy mythos stuff right here.
This is good.
Good. Now, the episode itself wasn't like a mind-blowing episode, taken individually.
As far as
right. It's an amazing episode of what it means for the overall story of the world and the potential going forward, and for Salem and Ozpin. But I think actually going back and rewatching this over and over again would help a lot, because I noticed a couple themes that they were kind of bringing up. The idea of demanding things from your creators, the idea of the idea of Ozpin being this pillar hero of justice, Ozma coming in and I will save the princess and we'll fall in love and live happily ever after. The idea that happily ever after is not real life. It's not reality.
Well,
like a fairy tale is nice, but people are flawed.
Right.
The thing is that it's kind of cool that the gods aren't perfect, because when Salem comes to the god of light, the brother, she's like, please just give him back to me. I know that you're capable of this.
Right.
And I like that he said, I can't do it, which I think is a lie.
Right. He was basically saying it's on the priority list. It is absolutely overruled.
Yeah, it's so contrary to my principles and the way I run this world.
Right.
And who are you to make demands of me? Like, I understand that you love him and I can empathize with you. He's like, I am a person of creation and love and goodness, so I feel for you, but I'm not going to exert my divine will and just, change things.
To further bring up the whole parallel with the Silmarillion and Beren and Luthien, Luthien going to Mandos and all that stuff.
Yep.
In the Silmarillion, men are mortal, and that is actually the gift of Ilúvatar, the creator of the world and stuff. Because he made the elves, but then he also made men, and men were specifically mortal as their gifts, to give their life more meaning, right? Yep. And they brought that up here, that in order to, that you must understand life and death because they both play a part.
Yep.
So the fact that, that he didn't here, it's like, okay.
Right.
All right. Because like in the idea of with Beren and Luthien, it was something where Beren was killed. He died early, right?
Yeah.
And then he was not given, eternal life or anything. Luthien still ended up watching him grow old and die, but she was able to actually watch him grow old and die.
Yep.
As opposed to in this case where it's an immortal saying, I don't want to be alone, and will you bring him back? And it's like, well, I mean...
Well, she's not immortal yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she wasn't immortal at that point. But
if anything, she's just wanting a normal life with him. Now, what's curious is that...
Oh, yeah, I guess his life still was kind of cut short because sickness, I suppose.
Yeah. She seemed to be relatively, young. Like, she didn't seem to have... We don't know how much time they spent together, but they spent enough time that they didn't think about having kids at this point. Whereas later they did.
That's true.
So, I'm just saying, the youth of humanity at this point is such that magic is a thing, but death is still a thing.
Right.
So people haven't figured out ways to, make medicine or magical equivalents, or something like that.
Or it was just something that they didn't have a way to stop.
Yeah, it just came on all of a sudden. Heart failure, dies.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Plot.
But I love that with all this magic, with all of that,
they couldn't.
Salem had to go to the highest order of power.
Yes.
And get rejected, because what Salem is kind of portrayed as in the early parts of the story is having no motivation. We don't really see her as having a personal motivation. We know that she wants to divide humanity.
And defeat Ozpin.
And defeat Ozpin and sow chaos and release the Grimm and all this stuff. But that doesn't have anything personal to it.
Right.
She seems more like a hive Borg queen of sorts than an actual character. What this shows was that she doesn't want power. She doesn't.
No, she wants everything gone.
Yes, she went to power. She went to the pinnacles of absolute power, and they toyed with her.
Yep.
They basically treated her like she was like nothing.
Oh man, that whole
they're
thing
like they're Thanosing her love of her life back and forth, and she's just like, can you stop? Like,
right.
This is not how you treat people. Like, oh my god. And then I love that she got devious so quickly.
Oh yeah.
Like she went to the God of Darkness, and I love the in some ways the cheesiness of the locations being the haven of light and the pit of darkness or something, and there being actual physical locations in this world
that you could go to.
Yeah,
and I really love how both sides were portrayed because the thing is that oftentimes when you have godlike beings or whatever or Dr. Manhattan,
sure.
the one of the problems
this
that
was
you can
gold
have,
and purple Dr. Manhattan.
Right, exactly. It was basically a gold and purple Dr. Manhattan. And in Watchmen, they address that issue of when you have someone like that, they can come off as very cold, right? How do you make them relatable and all that stuff as a character?
Yeah.
And here there are the obvious issues, right?
Yes.
But they still held to their tenets, right? And they still cared about them. The whole idea of no, death is essential to the value of life.
Right.
And then the whole idea of the God of Death being like, oh yeah, I'll fix this, sure, yeah, I'm tickled that you would ask me for help, and then God of Light's like, yeah, she came to me first. You were sloppy seconds. You were an afterthought, and then he's just like, seconds. Okay, then I'll fix this.
He's like, oh, this human tried to take advantage and manipulate me.
Right, and the way he was like, oh, my apologies, brother. My mistake.
Yeah, it flipped the tables on her so quickly because she was thinking, I've got them fighting each other. Yes, this is good. And then it's like, wait a minute, and they both turn and like direct their attention at her. And she's just like,
and then the what was it? I can't remember why he was brought back again after the God of Darkness killed Ozma again.
So, no, he's like, you dare come in here with disrespect, and he snaps Ozma back into being.
Right.
And then they talk about it, and then the God of Darkness goes and kills Ozma again.
And then oh, right. And
then they snap Salem back to the Haven of Light or whatever, and she's just like, What happened?
Right.
And then now they're both there, and they're like, "We cursed you with an immortal body."
Right. And then she comes back, and then deplorable word. Like that was some Chronicles of Narnia. Like
this is the
magician's nephew type stuff.
Kill humanity, word of death.
Right.
This is not the 50% like BS Thanos snap fingers. This is the snap of end all life.
Like I mean, the Thanos thing was great too, but like this, this was. And the fact that it's like she ended up being called the witch and everything like that, and everything, it's like this. I feel like that there were a lot of specific nods at other great fantasy stories out there, great fantasy literature, and they did them in a way that were like noticeable references, but at the same time doing their own thing. Like the fact that they had the deplorable word with the witch being alone at the end of it, and all that stuff. That was great, right?
That was awesome.
And the like
even though she wasn't the one that said,
she wasn't the one that said it, and it ended up being more of like a curse thing that was put upon her rather than her doing it as like fine, I'll kill everything else, Like I really liked that, the whole thing of her manipulating humanity to try and battle the gods, and I loved how
in spite,
and that even though the gods were fallible in their decisions, they were able to be deceived and tricked and things like that. Even with magic, it was not a question of
their power is absolute.
Yeah, their power is absolute.
These are humans playing with God's dirt. Like
right, exactly.
Go get your own dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe we'll talk.
Fine, this is my dirt. He just and it wasn't even the God of Light doing anything. God of Darkness.
He just sat there and was just like,
yeah.
And hey, that was the thing. God of Darkness said that magic was his gift. My gift. He's like, you take my gift and use it against me. Oh, and then he boom. And in some ways, you almost heard when the God of Light was talking to Ozma later. He's like, yeah, my brother wiped out humanity. Basically, he didn't claim responsibility for it.
Oh.
Basically saying that that's not in his tool set even.
Sure.
Like, he has no capacity to destroy.
Or at the very least, he has no capacity to stop his brother from destroying. And that might actually be why, that was one of the other things that they suggested that I thought was kind of cool, is that because of that sort of division of labor between the brothers, if she wanted someone to actually resurrect like undo death, she had to go to the one that was responsible over
death. But then
the brother of light was able to kill, so
so
it doesn't quite hold up. But
in some ways I think that they're just two sides of the same coin. It's not that they're the same entity. It's that they each have the capacity for
both
great deeds that break the laws of physics and all that.
Right.
But the big thing is that they each have different rules and principles and personalities even that make them each individuals. But then they also have agreements that they've made with each other that are kind of hey, you don't cross this boundary, I don't cross this boundary. And it's basically in some ways, it's kind of the trust of a very awkward business relationship where they're just like,
right.
All right, we both have total dominion over this reality. You control that 50%. I control that 50%. And as long as, we don't try to 5149 this, for, Dominion stuff, we're good.
And the idea of them both, like, even though this was from way back, volume 4 or whatever, the idea that they both work together to make humanity as like this is how both of our gifts can work perfectly in conjunction with each other. I thought that was great because the idea of like, because it's basically something, it was cool to see two different gods of very different alignments, the god of light, the god of darkness, death, life, all that stuff, right? Working in conjunction with each other, not doing some sort of, two immortal
I cannot stand you, brother,
day and trumpet sound. Right, exactly.
They're not in constant war with each other.
Right, exactly. They might be able to be set against each other and be like, hey, what are you doing? Come in here. Hey, this is my room. Get out.
In some way, though, that's the part that makes them even colder and sicker, is that they don't pretend to have any conflict over the fate of this world.
Sure.
It's literally just their experiment.
It was a good experiment.
They're like, wow, you guys were a good experiment, but, it's unfortunate. Boof. And then they're like, we will see you later. And they peace out, blow the moon up, which, by the way, brilliant decision. I almost thought they were going to go the route of that this moon was the original place where it was.
Because think about it. If humanity's wiped out, the idea of, this experiment didn't work, and they left, and like the fact that they left and then they shattered the moon, that made me think, okay, what if actually, like, I didn't think the moon, all that stuff like that tied it into this world and all that, everything. But before that, it's like, well, this could just be a different planet.
It could be a different, parallel reality.
Right. It could be parallel reality. There are tons of ways that they could differentiate it from this, right?
Right.
And that could be, and maybe that's how, that the whole Grim world exists. But the fact that we saw all this stuff, that means the Grim world exists on this world. You can actually travel to it without,
the realm of darkness, as it were. Basically the spawning pool of everlasting grim.
It's probably the Dragon Island.
It's probably the Dragon Island, yeah. I mean, this has been theorized for a long time before we even started getting into RWBY reactions and stuff.
But for ketchup drawings on a napkin, that's a bit specific.
Especially since, guys, the gods are dragons in some of their avatar shapes. Where have we seen a dragon ever at all in the show?
Well,
ever.
And here's the other thing. The other thing. They were both different types of dragons. I really liked it. The god of death was the traditional Western style dragon, right?
Yes.
Whereas the god of light was the Eastern style dragon, which totally makes sense. And there might be some jabs there, but who knows?
Sure.
But that they made them both look awesome, right?
Yes,
the way they made, I mean, the god of light as a dragon, I think, looked a bit better. It was so cool, all the details.
Yeah, he was flying.
He was flying, and there's more motion in general and things like that, more fluid and whatnot. But yeah, it was just all around really cool. And holy crap, we now have the anti-spirals for humanity to say we don't care about interdimensional whatevers too. In
a lot of ways, the gods coming back and judging humanity is it's funny because I look at it on paper and it looks like the kind of thing where you go, it's just a doomsday clock. It's just once they come back, it's all over.
But it actually might not be.
What it actually might be is it's kind of what you're saying. It's we don't care about interdimensional whatevers. Row, row, fight the power. we've been saying for the longest time, guys, like, remember, Monty's favorite anime was Gurren Lagann. And there's a reason why he also directly mentions that, you know, this show was slightly inspired by that. And this does seem like some end game, like, you know, maybe in wide brushstrokes, of course. But for the majority, this part has been planned out since the beginning.
And the thing is that there could, like, technically with what they said, what they were pissed about was not that humanity had shit to sort out, right? Yeah. It wasn't that they had problems and they killed each other and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It was that they demanded things of what was it? They demanded things of their creators, and what was the other part?
Well, that was what Salem kept doing.
Right. Yeah, okay, I can't remember exactly what was said. I'll have to go back and check. But it's not something that was contingent upon basically perfect morality.
No.
Right? It was technically something else.
Oh, you saying what were the demands of what they needed to do in order to not be judged?
Right, in order to be judged and not be wiped
They need
out.
to live in harmony.
Oh, was that it?
That was the requirement, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, given a large enough external threat, humanity will unite, you know, so, I mean, harmony, I don't know. Well, okay,
yeah,
here's a question.
Yeah.
In music, harmony is technically when things are different but not dissonant, right?
Yes,
it's when things are
harmonizing.
Right, exactly.
They complement each other.
Right, exactly. They complement each other. It's not that they are the same. It's that they are specifically different, but in ways that is overall positive. Now,
right. It's why whenever the dictator comes in and says, we need unity, it's like, yeah. That word always gets used and twisted into something else. What they mean is uniformity, which
all kinds of things bad can happen from that.
Atlas.
Sure. Yeah. And just what Salem was planning.
But it's also the cool thing of what, like, even that speech that Ozpin gave about colors and how we are all different, but, you know, Yeah, there's a lot of things about what Ozpin said in the past that now actually have a lot of contextual meaning.
That's a good point. So, that didn't really give us anything for the Great War.
No. Remember the World of Remnant, specifically there was the King of Vale. Yeah. That is obviously related to Ozpin. That went and probably utilized at least one or maybe more relics to basically just end the war.
Who knows?
Because we know he used his mighty sword.
Right,
and there is a sword
that was one of the relics, and I would not be surprised if that had... Okay.
I think the sword, a scepter, a crown, and their lamp.
Okay,
so lamp is knowledge.
Lamp is knowledge.
The sword has to be destruction.
The sword has to be destruction, and then there's
the
choice.
Crown and scepter. Choice and creation.
In creation.
So I would say the scepter is probably creation.
And then the crown is probably choice.
Right, because it's like authority and the ability to make the ultimate choice.
Yeah, scepter could be choice too, but the crown probably isn't creation.
Right, but the sword is the perfect thing for destruction. Sword is the perfect thing
for destruction.
Yeah.
So Ozpin's like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna... All right. And... Yeah. Now,
wait, if they pull the Jean has been holding the relic of destruction all this time and it's dumbed down like
family heirloom and all that stuff,
that would be hilarious.
That would be
like, I don't know if they could pull that up. That could be really stupid. But the thing is, like, guys, if no one's predicted it yet, you heard it first here. This dumb theory has been presented by Caleb. I'm just saying. No, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that.
If it was, I don't know what I would do.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not. But however, so the maidens, apparently that World of Remnant was just impressionistic.
No. We don't know that. We don't know anything. There was nothing. No, because the kids,
it looks like they died.
Yeah, they died.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Those maidens probably were coming to Ozpin as the old wizard, you know, the one guy out there that could still use magic, and he was depressed, and he had given up, essentially.
Okay.
And he sees 4 girls, and it reminds him of his daughters, and he's like, hope for the future, and he's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've forgotten,
Yeah, and in all of his time, here's the other thing, guys, it's good to remember here, is that Ozpin or Ozma or whatever, has had all this time with magic.
Yep.
What do you think he's learned in that time since then? Does he keep having to rediscover magic? Does he keep slowly but surely losing his connection to magic?
Sure, yeah.
Does he accumulate all the semblances in a one-for-all kind of thing where...
Right. Well, and they showed him putting the cane away to be retrieved later by
his next life.
By his next life, right?
Which I think is amazingly brilliant.
Is fantastic.
And that it changed over time. It's almost like he's losing memory of what it actually looked like.
Well, and that also potentially raises the question of, after closing that safe, did he go and... you know, because like, I mean, just saying, but there's all, here's the other thing. Cinder, a maiden, killed Ozpin.
Yes.
Ozpin, at the very least, is a progenitor of all of the maidens, if not directly, like...
What do you mean, a progenitor? A
father? Like either a sort of father, because fantasy magic passed on to them, or quite literally somehow, if... Because the other thing that I was thinking, and this would be weird, but what if Ozpin's version of immortality with being reincarnated fused with the magic, and then when they died there, the magic ended up basically going to other people? If it did some sort of weird magic mix up with immortality.
Yeah, I
like your idea more.
That.
I like your idea more because it has more narrative.
Well, we know that the maidens are passed on to young women, Jacob. So it seems like the kind of thing where Ozpin... This is the thing.
Well, I don't think Ozpin's ever reincarnated as a girl.
That's the point. That's the point, Jacob. Remember, he has 4 kids. He had 4 kids.
Right.
4 girls, 4 little girls.
Right.
Now, Ozpin is living for all time, over and over again, dying, reincarnating.
Yep.
Salem is alone. Ozpin has the opportunity to actually reintegrate back into humanity.
Yep.
So how many times do you think he made family, community, friends, and all that, and just watched them die over and over and over again?
Oh,
how many
plenty
times?
of times.
Plenty of times.
Yeah.
Don't you think in maybe a little bit of his conceited, like... Not conceited, but more of like his weakness, when he gives them the power and stuff, his actual reason was just so that he could keep running back into some people that remind him of his lost family?
Maybe.
Because his goal when he left Salem was, he's like... Yeah, sorry, honey, I'm taking the kids. You're dangerous, and bye. Yeah. And she's just like, you what? Yeah. And like, I give Salem every right to be pissed. They should have talked that out. Like
I don't think Salem would have been...
No, I think they could have actually come to some very good compromises in this. Because
I mean, she had already absorbed the muck and goo of evil. But...
No, I'm with you, Jacob. But Ozpin, if he had somehow been able to communicate, you don't understand. If we never gather back the relics, that's fine. That's fine. But someone else might. And if they do that, you will lose me forever. Because there's no way, as you said, that the relics could ever, like, we could ever get humanity to harmonize.
Right,
So if we want to be together forever, we either have to make sure that the relics are never brought together, or we make sure that we have a plan in place if the relics are brought back together, so we constantly search out a possibility that humanity could be brought back into harmony. And maybe he would have had to play the long game with her. He would have had to wear her down with a lot of constant reasoning, and she'd be like, ugh, you're still at it with this tired thing of that. Why can't we just be together and be happy? He's like, I am happy. I also want to live with you forever, but I can't do it this way.
And also be like, oh, okay, so by the way, I'm going to, we need to set something up so that Dad, like, okay, honey, like,
in a lot of ways, him being honest with her first, I think it speaks to that his character wasn't taken over by some kind of primordial muck and goo like hers was. So in some ways, Salem is slightly not to blame for her current state. because she wanted to kill herself over and over again from just being alone,
right?
For how many
and
years?
And she's like, "Oh, I got an idea. This will do it," and it didn't.
And it didn't.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, you draw the card from the deck of many things, and you're hoping, and you're hoping you get the one that's just like you're erased from existence,
right?
But instead, you get the one that says your alignment gets switched to the opposite, and you're like,
Yeah, I was
okay.
I was neutral good or good neutral, or what would it be? The middle top.
Neutral good.
Neutral good. And now you are neutral evil.
It's like,
congratulations.
Okay. Well, that was kind of a dick move, but all right. You know,
but that's done. That's done.
Right.
That influences every choice, every thought pattern, every behavior from then on out. And it's something where that was a cosmic natural one on the ultimate scale of things.
Yep.
And of all the choices that Salem did, this is probably my only actual complaint about the episode, is that of all the choices that Salem did, that was the one where cosmic causality basically bit her in the ass so hard, that she doesn't even know it really.
Exactly. And that's the biggest issue I kind of have with this. If I were to point out one thing, is that we gave Salem a crap ton, and I mean a crap ton of motivation
and characterization.
Yeah. And it was juicy. It was excellent. We sympathized with Salem. I would have been right there with her and played Roro Fight the Power for her.
Yeah.
Right? But then it's like, okay, now I must be evil. Right?
She was devious and manipulative towards the gods.
Right.
But we understand why. Now, the main thing to bring up here,
she actually did try to do the Roro Fight the Power.
The main thing to bring up here, though, is that Ozpin, someone who didn't jump into the primordial muck and goo, he chose to become a god with her.
Yeah.
He chose to rule over humanity.
But mankind is easily corrupted. That was so good. Brilliant. How they brought that in,
the hearts of man are easily swayed. That is straight from Lord of the Rings. Like the hearts of man.
Oh yeah, and the ring corrupted. Of power has a mind or a will of its own.
Well, no, I'm talking about the rings that were given to the races of men. When in the books and the movies they orate that the rings were given to the elves.
Yeah.
Fairest of them all,
the
dwarves.
All else desire power.
Yes. Basically, then the.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't that. It was when Isildur took the ring from Sauron's ashen, crumpled up thing. And then it cuts to him wearing the ring
it
over his armor, and then they get ambushed by orcs and stuff. But
they twisted that into their own version for this here, and I think it works really well. That's probably one of the best story moments in the episode because it's set up properly that Salem has spent a lot of time with humanity. Mm-hmm. She's watched it fall. She's watched it rise back up again.
Many times.
At least once. I think it's more so just once, really. I'm talking about the ultimate purple aura of explosive.
Well, that's humanity is gone. And that's actually a good question.
But that's the thing, though, is that she spent a lot of time... Mm-hmm. There's a lot of time, actually, in this episode that they don't really draw direct connection to, is that Salem was gifted immortality. Long time goes by before the armies come to the gods.
Oh, yeah.
Long time.
That was probably several generations.
Humanity is wiped out. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Humanity is wiped out. Humanity comes back into the fray. It comes back into play as an actual race of creatures, essentially.
Right. Uh-huh.
And they're developed and they can talk and all this stuff. So there was time.
Oh yeah.
Long periods of time between when she saw Ozma again.
Right.
Huge amounts of time.
Oh yeah, because the whole idea of mankind came from dust and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Civilizations would have risen and fallen in that amount of time.
The faunus came into being.
Yeah.
Dust came as a thing. Mm-hmm. I love that they basically took all the questions about these really detailed things that, honestly, I'm not really curious about the origination of dust or the faunus.
And they didn't really explain it here. They just said there's something that predates it, so it's not important. Right?
Right. The main thing is that there was a time when the world was different.
Right.
Now the world has been cursed. It's been struck dead, basically, and it had to be rebooted. The moon fell apart and crashed onto the earth, and craziness. So now magic, maybe in some ways, also still exists in the world. It's in the environment essentially, and that's what dust is. It's just a physical manifestation of an aspect of elemental magic or some kind, you know. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
The faunus are basically just humans that maybe like. This is actually a crazy idea.
The animals were licking that kind of dust when, you know, they came from it or something.
Yeah. Who knows? But that's a crazy thought, right?
What?
How did
the faunus come about?
Right. The faunus are said to potentially have predated humanity.
Okay.
What if the this is a little bit of a weird way to go about it, but the whole idea of lesser evolved beings coming into the ecosystem first, they were essentially the faunus, and the faunus essentially were the ones that stopped evolving, and humans just kept going. And basically there were some animals essentially that, you know, humans came from.
Gotcha.
And so they just retained some of the traits.
I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of furry history fan fiction.
Right, but it doesn't really matter.
But, yeah.
The main thing to bring up is that humans and humanity are discordant, divided. They're enslaving their own, essentially, because they look a little different.
Right.
They're all at war with each other. Salem finds Ozma again, and they're reconnected, and it's like, wow. Like, let's make up for lost time. And I'm sure they enjoyed a long, like, segment of time just being alone and together, you know? And
well, they did have 4 children, so
I mean, this is I'm talking pre-children.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like that.
I mean,
like,
before
magical, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
right. Yeah.
We can do anything with that. But
that I noticed that whole part of them going into the house and the constant times that they would then like show them on the porch and then not showing them on the porch.
Well, that was, I think, to showcase that the house was fixed up and it was changed.
Oh, possibly.
In some ways, Salem found like happiness, and peace out of all this.
Yep.
Yeah. I do gotta say though, the idea of having the whole story be based around people manipulating others by keeping secrets ties it all very well back into the present situation with Oscar doing essentially the same thing,
right?
Showing in a very sad way
how
he hasn't learned his lesson.
Nope.
And it's not that he made all the mistakes. He didn't. He didn't. Salem made mistakes as well.
Yeah.
The main thing is that people make mistakes, but you're supposed to learn from your mistakes.
Exactly. That's why we're called humanity.
Right.
Like,
but I think this is actually the even sadder part, is that Ozpen has been doing this for so long. And he's so traumatized. Like, he had entire lifetimes where he basically just tried to forget.
Yep.
I think he did. I think at multiple points he actually forgot.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And there were times where all he had to go back on was the actual message, was what the God of Light, the brother, had told him.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, that's all I have now. I need that. I need this sense of purpose, because if I have no sense of purpose...
Right, otherwise I'm just continually existing in
a state... my life is a living hell then.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, having no purpose as a person that will live and die, that's bad enough.
That's horrible.
That's bad enough.
Yeah.
Doing that over and over and over without end... Yeah, any purpose would seem pretty good at that point.
And also anyone that you can have around you.
Sure.
And this is the other thing that's really scary about Friends. Like, the whole idea of Ozpin needing friends and having his little Ozluminati at the present time here. How much do you feel like Ozpin has done this to the point where he's manufactured the perfect stories, the perfect lies, the perfect... things he needs to say in order to give? He's like, oh, we've got this type of person. You need to hear this in order to actually be connected to me and feel like you're owing something to me. Right. And he is not doing this out of some like sickened, maniacal, twisted way to manipulate people.
He's just like, I've gotten
He's
better
just like,
at
I need people near me. I need people with me, because my purpose is all that I am. And also, like, I'm a human being. I need connection. I need...
Well, sure, like, that's
I feel like that's something that I can really empathize with Ozpin. and then also realize how broken he is.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I absolutely loved that was a clever little play on words was when they were talking about the Grimm.
Ooh,
right? And they specifically said the Brothers Grimm.
Did they literally say that?
They did.
Did they say the younger Brothers Grimm?
No, they just said the Brothers Grimm.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, we always knew that it was gender-bent fairy tales and stuff,
Yeah.
Or myths or history or whatever.
Right.
But the fact that it's like the main antagonistic force is the Grimm and then the Brothers Grimm, it's like, okay, yeah, we probably should have clued into that earlier as soon as it was,
Probably.
I mean, people probably did out there somewhere.
I think it was because there were words surrounding it and it wasn't said in a vacuum. They didn't just say the Brothers Grimm.
No, I know. But the idea of the fact that there are two god brothers and one of them made the Grimm. So, the connection with fairy tales and all that stuff.
I thought you were saying it was actually said in this episode.
It was, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I knew the connection with the Brothers Grimm thing forever ago, back in Volume 5 when they gave the actual that campfire exposition.
Maybe you told me about that and I just forgot. But they actually said it here.
Yeah, that's amazing that they said it.
Okay.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Like not just referencing other great works of fantasy literature, but also
self-referential
while at the same time referencing that was awesome.
Yeah, Salem, her character has gotten way more interesting.
Yeah.
Now, if this is the volume of getting a contextual basis for each character that as of now is kind of weak on character motivation.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they did the Adam character backstory character short trailer. That's great. What I'm really excited for is the antagonist in this case having their reunion, when Cinder eventually finds her way back into the whole main story of things.
Yep.
What are they going to choose to do? Because right now there's so much new context given to Salem's actions with knowing that we are not sure. Like right now, we don't know which motivation governs her more, and I like that. Spite. That is a very real part of her motivation.
Yep.
To die. To die. For her to actually die and have it all be over.
In order for that to happen, humanity needs to be wiped out. Because they specifically said, as long as this world keeps spinning, right? And they said, if humanity is judged negatively, we'll come back and destroy this world.
Right.
The connection was not accidental, methinks, right?
Yeah. It is a little bit vague, though, as to whether or not they're going to destroy humanity or just come back and destroy everything. Right. Now, I think it's nice to have that be vague because it gives Salem another reason to be like,
sure,
well, if they come back, either I kill them, they kill me, or they kill everyone else, and I'll just do this again. Either way, that's something different. Now, here's the other thing, though. We've seen Salem showing her appreciation and attachment to someone like Cinder.
Yeah.
Now, what might be happening here, though, is that Salem is learning from Ozpin. And she's been fighting him and fighting his people, like,
and she's
all
finally
this time.
Like, you know what, I can get other people to fight for me.
Or not finally, we just, now, at this time.
Right, she's probably been doing this for a while.
Right, so.
I mean, Hazel's been around for a while, at the very least.
Yeah, so they're all moving through intermediaries.
Oh.
Which is just kind of a cool thing to show that in some ways Salem might not care whether or not things move quickly, but maybe she's clued into that she has a higher chance of ruining Ozpin's success by making it not about what she wants, but by getting into everyone else's heads of her subordinates and making them all immutable from that, making them all, they can't be swayed by Ozpin.
Okay.
So her way of winning is gather the relics and have any number of people with her that are just, enough reason for the gods to just destroy humanity, right?
Yeah.
And maybe destroy her as well. Now, that also combines with the spite thing, because then it's just, I'm toying with humans. Look at this.
Yep.
yeah, Ozpin, you
I can play
denied
your game too.
Yeah, exactly. But like, Ozpin, like, you're nothing. Like, I'm already a god. Like, I'm already basically back to, you know, where I'm at with this there. Like, she's basically claimed dominion over a land that isn't even hers. Like, the whole Grimpool Land of Darkness or whatever, that's not even her turf.
Right.
She's basically posing on there,
Yep.
and the Grimm are just respecting her strength or something.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose over thousands of years and all that stuff and whatever,
She
however else
studied
she was changed by the muck and goo.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They recognize her as one of their own.
Right, exactly.
And just the strongest one of their own.
And to think that at some point, we used to have... Our biggest problem was Roman Torchwick. Good old Roman Torchwick.
Our biggest antagonist, not a problem. We all miss Roman Torchwick.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
Roman Torchwick was a
not
fabulous...
at all a problem.
Right.
Yeah, he was fabulous. He was amazing. He will be missed. But in some way, if the maidens have magic... Now, there's the...
What are you getting at?
What I'm getting at is that there's no theoretical reason why Cinder, other than the whole lineage aspect, that Cinder shouldn't be able to potentially go toe-to-toe with Salem.
Oh, defeat... Well, no. Salem has eons of time to have gotten stronger with magic.
That's true. Just experience and all that stuff and whatever she got from the muck and go and things. But it was one of those things that I was kind of curious about because... In the case of that's true.
It's the Emperor and Darth Vader,
right? It's the Emperor and Darth Vader, and the idea, well, and also like because when I was thinking about the whole battle between Salem and Ozpin was sort of destined to fail because his best situation would be he runs away because Salem cannot. She's not a reincarnation immortality. She's a Bacano immortality.
Yes,
or even better, maybe,
or even crazier.
So. You know, the
universe like rewrites itself to make sure that she stays alive.
Right.
It's not just the limbs come like dragging back to her. It's like, no, she's invulnerable. Like, she's actually invulnerable.
Although she was able to bleed.
When did she bleed?
It was shown there was the axe that she threw up all bloodied.
That might not have been her
onto the
blood.
King's. No, I'm pretty sure the point was.
Oh, because she showed. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. She's like, look what I can do. You know.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of Greed from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, when he's all like, "Hold on," and then the cow guy, the cow chimera, splats the top half of his head.
Oh,
and then he's like, "Oh my god!" And they're like, he's like, "Hold on," and then it regenerates, and he's like, "Now you see," you know. That Greed was nowhere compared to Greedling, but anyways, different show. I think the big thing going forward is now that everyone knows this, now that everyone has the awareness of this, I'm guessing that people are going to respond very differently. Like, very differently.
Oh, sure.
The thing about this is that each person has their own backgrounds, their own upbringings, their own things that they bring to the table. So not everyone, I think, is going to be, you know... in a specific viewpoint with this.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that they'll come to the agreement of is that Ozpin, you did screw up.
Yeah.
You're broken. You need us.
Right.
Way more than we need you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the thing I think that's crazy is that up until this point, we needed Ozpin way more than he needed us. Because we knew he was the secret weapon. We knew he was the only thing that could really stop Salem. But now, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There is no stopping Salem. This is all about saving humanity.
Right.
So you need us way more than we need you. And that's such a good, that's brilliant. Because if you made it about how only if we assemble all the relics and use their power can we destroy Salem. No, it has nothing to do with that.
With the fifth element, we can, you know, power of love, we can destroy the darkness. Yeah.
I love that that's the case because then it's not about great power. It's not about...
It's about the smaller, more honest soul.
Smaller, more honest soul, exactly.
Yeah.
Ozpin recognized, I think, that he needs people near him that contain the spark of humanity. They contain the aspect of hope that humanity needs in order to have a brighter future. The thing that's crazy about that, though, is that he's probably seen a lot of those sparks of humanity.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them.
Well, that whole thing of like, you think you're the first, or you think he was the first?
Lionheart was the first.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
what if?
Wow.
What if this is, I'd say, a little bit dark and twisted, and it doesn't need to do this because of the whole remnant aspect and the fact that magic was kind of busted in that regards, and it could be just a bloodline thing. But Ruby Silver Eyes, the idea that the gods treated this world as an experiment, right?
Yeah.
And they left, and dust was there, and people didn't have access to magic. They had a semblance or something.
Right.
They have to discover it. It's like a semblance of the magic that they once had.
Right. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
That's excellent.
Like the name
so
Semblance so much encapsulates that. It's why we named our channel Semblance of Sanity.
Right.
We have just enough sanity that we can interact with you guys.
Yep.
So,
oh boy,
what if the Silver Eyes were one of Ozpin's experiments?
Sure.
Just as the maidens were.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I need
something that I can use.
And maybe it was just his attempt at one point to be like, I need to try and defeat Salem.
Yep. I'm gonna make super anti-grim weapons.
Yeah, because he's like, I can't. Oh no, that's brilliant. Oh my god, guys.
What?
Guys, Ozpin created the Silver Eyes because he identified why Salem is the way she is right now. He wants to purge the grim part from her because he hopes that will redeem her and then free her from the gunk that was clogged in the black pools.
Because she's immortal, but that could be the way to
But that's also his fallacy, is that maybe he realized it doesn't matter, or maybe that doesn't work. It's that,
and that's what Summer's job was.
Yeah,
and a purify assassination.
Yeah, of sorts.
Now,
and I would say that it probably just didn't work. But I liked the idea that it might have worked.
Sure.
But the thing is that she was so broken inside already. She just killed Summer and then just went and dunked herself again.
No, that's
okay. That's how dark it could have been.
Right. Now
it doesn't have to be that.
But if that's what it is, but here's the thing. That is how Ruby can be the main character and kind of save the day, because she is able to give Salem the chance at redemption, and with the honest,
without killing
smaller,
her.
more honest soul. Exactly, because you can't kill Salem.
Right.
And with the whole smaller, more honest soul thing, she might be able to, she able to convince her husband, whatever. I don't know, something, and then
or just free her from the grip of that stuff that's got her.
Exactly. She'd have all kinds of therapy that she'd need to do after that. But but then there'd be a chance, right? It wouldn't be some cosmic muckery, right?
Right.
And then at that point, that would basically be decapitated Lord Genome being able to help them fight the anti-spirals. I'm just saying. Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. In order for something like that to happen, okay, this is crazy prediction time.
Okay. All right, cool.
Let's do it.
What is it?
That's why Adam's still here. Because Adam is spite, right?
Yes.
That's what Blake said. He is spite personified. So he finds out about all this, right?
Wait. Finds out about what?
He finds out about everything. Okay.
Ozpin. Salem. Everything.
The God Rocks.
Everything. Okay.
All of it. And as the edgelord that he is, he's like, I am going to doom humanity. So, because the thing is that they need to have a time where they face the gods. But if Salem has been redeemed, then at that point, why would it happen? And I'm picturing some almost like Gollum sort of thing, where Adam ends up basically bringing the gods here to... Now, it might not be Adam. I'm just saying, if we had a character that we needed to have previously be established, they could use him, and that could be why they did the character short. Now, this is such tinfoil hat.
I see what you're saying now.
See kind of what I'm saying?
I want a part of it to be right, but
yeah, the idea of someone like Adam having that level of impetus in the story. Yeah, I know. It's like,
I thought the character short was being brought up because it's like, guys, he's either getting a little bit of a sympathetic side soon, or he's dying.
Well, that too. Yeah.
He's not Endgame.
Yeah, okay. That's much more poetic and fitting. The main question I have is that if they redeem Salem, then how are they going to do it?
I don't think that's my point, is that it's not going to work.
They're not going to be able to redeem Salem?
It more just shows Ozpin's attempts, like how many times he's tried.
Sure.
The idea that why there's all these weird magical things out there is that Ozpin has done so many weird things over the time to try and stop Salem, or to try and make himself feel better, like with the maidens.
Right. Now, okay, here's a question. So traditionally how something like this would be solved, because the whole point of, like, is humanity worth having around, right? This is no new question. The gods, in this case, they're not the first ones to ask that.
Right.
They're just making there be an ultimatum because they have the power to actually enforce, what will end up happening. But usually the answer that comes in is that while there's bad things, there's also good things too. And the bad shines light on the good. In order to understand life, you must understand death, right? And the whole thing that the God of Light was talking about.
Right.
So what if the gods did end up showing up, then the only way that they could really have humanity stick around, assuming that it is on a morality scale, not just on a you demanding stuff of us, which I believe you mentioned it. Isn't that it's actually the harmony thing and all that?
It's the harmony versus basically just the not harmony, the division.
Right, exactly. And that's not exactly going to happen. But what they could end up doing, because like if they found out a way to do that, kudos to them. But I don't think they're going to go to that angle. So what it would seem to be is that it was something of like, hey, we're not perfect, but we're trying. We're really trying hard, right? And then it's the seeing that and being like, okay, that is worth, the right answers are worth the mistakes, right?
Right.
And also Salem could potentially, if she was redeemed, be the perfect example of that in the positive, or if she wasn't redeemed, be the perfect example of that in the negative.
Yeah, I think the main thing that's kind of crazy is that if you think about this in terms of like plot structure, you either have the big fight and then they just have a peaceful moment of summoning the gods and they just kind of talk it out and it's over, or it's the thing of that the gods are summoned and then that triggers final boss kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
Either one is fine. Either one is totally doable.
Yep.
The big thing, though, is that the gods are set up as these
gods,
basically...
actually.
Well, yes, but they're also set up as basically these just kind of indifferent scientists with weird rules, where they're basically just like,
sure,
we collab on some experiments, and if they fail, we wipe the slate clean and move on. Oh, but I mean,
I don't wipe the slate.
I don't
clean.
wipe them. Yeah,
he does that. I can't control what he does.
Right. And I can't turn off the creation aspect of this world, even though I probably could. So this world is just going to exist godless and directionless and purposeless all this time at the mercy of this horrifying witch, just so that she can learn the lesson of life and death. Which, if you think about it, humanity is getting screwed over just because Salem hasn't learned a lesson yet.
One might say that that's spiteful.
Oh, just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah, but I would say it's not as much spiteful from the gods' perspective as it is that they just don't care.
Right. It's more of and that's where
it's cold.
And that's where because here's the thing. All right. This is where the world might break down a little bit.
Oh, sure.
But the God of Light is willing to kill to restore balance of someone being brought back to life that shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
The God of Darkness kills all of humanity.
Yep.
The God of Light could have said that upset the balance. You brought someone back to life when you weren't supposed to, and you killed people when you weren't supposed to. I'm going to bring back to life all of humanity.
Well, that would contrast his...
Well, yes, it contrasts the whole don't bring people back to life. Yeah. But the very idea of life and death is that they're yin yang, two sides of the same coin, all that stuff. You need both.
Right.
And the fact that the God of Death is, I mean, I guess he didn't bring back the other people that the God of Death killed, and that's sort of what he does, and they don't mess with each other's stuff too much. But it's just one of those things that you can't help but wonder about, because
I think it's kept consistent enough because the God of Light does not bring anyone back to life.
Right.
He creates. He does not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only time where he does something like that is with Ozma, because he's basically saying, "Hey, humanity, we're going to run another experiment on it, but we're going to do this one hands off because we've got other stuff to deal with in
we have other
Universe
experiments
15,
fires in the oven and all that stuff." Yeah.
So we're gonna leave you here.
Right.
If you would like to, you don't have to. But he's like, I'll do it. And it's basically like, oh, okay. If you actually go and look, they don't really animate the faces of the gods when they're in their bipedal
Avatar,
forms.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you look closely, they do have like eyebrows and they do have... It's like they don't animate the mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
They animate like the eyes and the eyebrows, basically.
Yeah, and it's a great way to have them be hard to, like, you know, very, very much non-human.
Right. Not
while at the same time,
really.
not knowable, while at the same time being able to communicate, like, body language and things like that.
And he was kind of surprised at how quick Ozma said yes.
And even though that the God of Light didn't bring the humans back to life, like, even if that was something he was okay with, it doesn't break the story. It just means that apparently he didn't really want to.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's my point.
So,
it
like,
feeds into the him being cold aspect.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
He has no real care for humanity on that level. It's the kind of thing where he can sympathize and he can feel the feelings of anguish as Salem comes in with her dead lover and she's like, please save him. He's like, I'm sorry, I understand how you feel.
And in some ways, it's like, if you think about the way that the God of Darkness killed everybody, in some ways, it kind of is more humane than what Thanos did.
Oh, sure.
Because in the case of because there's no survivors. There's no pain to be had. They were all just instantly, it just stopped. There wasn't anything more, right? They had whatever they had up till then, and then it didn't keep going, right? The only person that really suffered because of it was Salem, and that was the whole point, right? Now is it a bit cold? Yeah, but like, you could make a case that it was cruel, but you could also make a case that it wasn't.
Right. You could also make the case that these are gods and they are fallible, and that the God of Darkness basically doesn't know how to use power at that scale and control it. So he basically was just like, you guys make me angry for doing this. Ugh! And in one just kind of exertion of his power, everyone dies. And he's like, well,
maybe the God of Light is like, okay, you're gonna go sit in a timeout over there and think about what you've done. I'll talk with Ozma, you know, in 1,000 years because I need to cool off too. And then, you know, and then it's like
1,000, a million years,
or however many, you know,
20 million,
yeah, right,
you know,
and the idea of basically, because the brothers seem to be in agreement on certain things, right?
Right.
And the idea that, like, like
Salem's curse.
Right, the Salem's curse and all that. Yeah. And the fact that the God of Darkness wasn't there, and it's like, okay, so, yeah, my brother... oh, boy. Like, this is why we need to leave. Because one of the ideas, one of the biggest, just general, like, arguments for why God can't exist in general is that, like, in order for the being or whatever to actually be God, the idea is that it's supposed to be infinite. It's supposed to be so far beyond us that there's no comparison, right?
Right.
And anytime you have something that is infinite, if anything that is finite comes into contact with it, it is eradicated, right? You cannot have the two coexist because infinite is infinite, right? It completely overrides and dominates everything else. So you need to have an infinite separation of sorts, right? Which by its very nature is paradoxical, but you know, whatever. If you had a god, maybe you could make it work. But but so in this kind of a thing, I almost have this little headcanon of the God of Light being like, well, you did that, and he's like, oh my god, I just killed I just killed them all. You know, and it's like, so what are we gonna do? It's like, I don't know. I kind of like that experiment. I cooled off, and I just I'm not sure. Okay, let's go somewhere very far away. Yeah, maybe that would be a good idea. Yeah, you know, I can have my own little playpen again. I can make another sandbox. It'll be great. Yeah.
I think that's a funny way to look at it, but I
probably not at all what happened.
Oh yeah, not at all. But I find it actually kind of compelling in that they had value in the experiment, and they're like, oh, okay. Well, let's give this one a bit to simmer on low temperature. Yeah, and maybe we'll come back and there'll be some fungus growth on here at least. Yeah,
you know, like in a few million years.
Exactly. And they've got no like urgency or anything for that. So they're just like, we'll go do some of our other things. We'll just leave.
Right.
And also to again show their callousness, or also maybe a little bit of their frustration at the experiment going wrong due to just one stupid human. In their eyes, they see Salem as probably very foolish. they smite the moon. Now, what I actually see about them leaving and choosing, that was very intentional.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could say that it was just like, oh, whatever.
Oh, it just happened to be in the way, and I just...
Yeah, we just perpendicular left, and it happened to be directly above us.
Oh, no, yeah. No, that was super intentional. That was we're going to let the Earth kind of feel the scarring of, of our
the
frustration.
If you will.
And the fact that the moon is going to remain in that state of sorts, because it's just going to keep orbiting with all the
like
stuff
the fact that the debris is still up there.
Well, not all of it, but
but there's
there is debris up there. It's the reminder of basically y'all screwed up. None of you are gonna know that that's why the moon is like that,
but we'll know and we'll smile.
It's kind of them. They're writing
Ozpin
their signature.
And Salem will know.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
You guys will remember. We'll make sure that you never forget. So that Ozpin, like, oh man, I'll bet every time he looked up into the sky. I mean, was he? Yeah, he was. No, he wasn't. Okay, so maybe they filled him in. Whatever. But
yeah.
But if he knew, then that way, every time he looked up into the sky, it's just like, oh,
yeah. But guys, like, this episode broke ground in a huge way for the show.
I thought it broke the moon.
We now have a lot of answers. We now have a huge direction for the story. We now have a lot of contextual evidence for every single character. We have a lot of characterization for Ozpin and Salem that we didn't have previously. And now our main characters all know about it.
Yep.
And in a clever twist of plot muckery, we don't have to have the characters sharing that information with too many other people because it's already been exposited to them in this very entertaining format. So now, the one way that this could... there is a little bit of danger here. How much time are they going to spend talking about
they come
what
back
they
and
saw?
There's Grimm everywhere waiting for them to come back?
I think time essentially kind of
stopped
when...
the snow and everything, yeah.
Which
is pretty crazy if... Wait, okay.
No, it's just a god of... It's an aspect of the god of light's power.
Sure.
He was warping Salem around all over the place.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Without...
But that's just pretty crazy if you think about it. That Jin is a being created by the gods.
Yeah, contained within
some of
the lamp relic of knowledge.
Here's how they beat Salem. So they basically are like, okay, we have one question left. Awesome, Jin. You can do your whole stop timey thing, right?
Oh my gosh. But like that doesn't stop from the fact that Salem can't be killed,
But could they potentially like freeze her forever?
Hey,
I mean, I don't think Jin would be willing to do that. She'd be like, "Yeah, sorry, that's not my division,
Not my division."
But like
that reference is so good. Oh my god!
Anytime you have time manipulation.
Please
powers,
don't go too into that. I don't want to think about anything like that.
I know.
Because
so
it's
full
just
of
like,
holes. So full.
Well,
of holes.
no, because it's just like
it'd be so
it's
unsatisfying.
An aesthetic thing.
And like,
it's an aesthetic thing.
Right,
it's
and
not...
it is a very good aesthetic thing. I love it when snow or rain or whatever just sort of freezes in the air, especially if it's not because of an actual time stoppage. But yeah.
But anyhow, I'm interested to see what Maria Calavera has to say about all of this.
I love how they were talking about...
Was she not involved?
Yeah, like,
they didn't show her in this episode.
They didn't, but here's the
So maybe
thing.
she's just like, everyone blinked and suddenly they all hate this kid.
No,
what happened?
Because
like,
here's the thing.
What?
They were talking about all this stuff in front of her.
I know.
It's like the DM gives them an NPC, and everyone just starts talking about all this stuff, and then DM's just like, wow, okay.
They are really being open about their murder hobo tendencies
right,
in front of this
or
very
whatever.
Lawful, good NPC.
Yeah.
And the NPC's just like, I feel very uncomfortable here.
And like,
I'm gonna leave.
And this wasn't just like personal moral stuff. This is like earth-shattering or lunar shocking
yes.
stuff. And And then Jin shows up. She sees this as well. So there's no reason to say that Jin didn't also show her. Like, because at first I was thinking she was just showing Ruby.
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
And that would have been just a thing that would have worked for the main character, whatever.
Right.
But then they showed Crow in there. I'm like, wait, no, okay, Crow wasn't alive at that time. You know, okay, he's in there too. Everyone's seeing this.
And then they showed everyone in there except Maria.
Right, but
and
that
Oscar.
Yeah. That's true.
So, oh wait, no, they did show Oscar.
Oh yeah,
they
yeah,
did
many
show
times,
Oscar many times, yeah. And those scenes were, those were emotional. So,
but, oh boy,
guys, we have a lot. Wow. We have a lot here. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for RWBY for doing this amazing stuff. I don't think anyone from RWBY has enough time to watch the end of our discussion.
I don't think so either. But if for some reason any of you are there, like, please pass that along to everyone.
Yeah,
this is
like,
amazing.
Yeah. Please let us know that you pass this along. Just that we give you guys so much credit for taking the criticisms of past volumes into consideration and constantly learning, unlike Osmond, from these little mistakes and building upon the things that you have learned to make this show what it is. Because, I'm sure in a lot of ways it's got to be really frustrating for the fans to be like, this volume is the worst volume or this volume is my favorite volume. And it's like, for you guys, it's just whatever volume you're working on is your favorite volume. You get to keep making new stuff. And that's just so awesome.
Which is why I loved so much all the multiple times that the gods talked about you demand things of your creators and at the same time scorn them.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize that. It's so meta. Oh man. Well done. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I guess we'll have our reaction with the show footage and stuff coming up this coming Saturday. So check it out there. And if you want to get involved in any more of the discussion side of things, check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get involved in the Discord there with any level of support and chat with us. As the episodes come out, we watch them and we can get into all kinds of discussions about just stories or whatever there. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.